Hello everybody and welcome to my channel if it's your first time. If you're returning, thank you again for your views. This week's video I'm going to kick off a little bit different. I'm going to be doing an experiment throughout this video. I've been sent so much of this product, it's unreal. It's called Not Your Mama's Pantyhose by Huda Beauty, and it's supposed to like make your feet or legs or wherever look like you're wearing tights, and you can also put it on your face as a highlighter, or you can mix it with your foundation, your moisturizer for a glow. It's supposed to be just like a really summery thing. I haven't properly used it, but there's going to be so many boxes. I was actually going to bring one of the boxes in here when I was filming so that we could show you the front of the box, but it has like my dress and stuff on it and I didn't really want to put that on the internet. So this colour that I'm going to be trying is called Aphrodite, which is the medium colour. It's the middle colour. It comes in 3 colours. There's a darker one and a lighter one. A lot of people have said that they feel like the lighter one is still too dark for somebody who's very fair skinned, but the other colours, I think people who are whatever race, whatever ethnicity have kind of liked it and stuff. And there are people on Huda Beauty's YouTube channel, I think, and Instagram who are very fair skinned, testing out the lightest shade, and they seem to like the metallic look. This colour to me looks really, really gold, but it's like the dark colour I felt like was too dark and the light colour I felt like was too light. I should have just brought them in here so that I could show you guys, but I just got my nails done for holiday and I don't really want to smudge my nails trying to open a box. This one I already took out the box because like I said, they sent me a few. I don't know if the brush comes with it because obviously they sent me the press one, and in the press packet you get all 3 colours and the brush, which is called Body Blur and Glow. I don't know if when you buy it individually if you get the brush or if you have to buy that separately, but I know that this itself is £40. It's going to be coming out online on the 17th of May, but it's going to be coming out in shops in the 3rd. Actually, I got that the other way around. One of those way rounds. Those dates are significant somewhere or another. By the time this video is up, it's going to be the 17th of May anyway, so everything will be out. So I'm just going to test it out on my leg. I'm wearing a skirt. You guys can't see it right now, but I'll stand up in a second. And so it says on the bottom to shake well, and then I guess you just use the brush to spread it across from tutorials that I've seen. And so I'm going to basically be experimenting to see 1, how it looks, and 2, if it's going to be smudging or coming off on the carpet and stuff while we're doing this video, because many people are like, does it smudge, does it do this, does it do that? I'm like, I don't sort of someone's sofa and we get up and there's like marks and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, we need to know summer is coming, y'all, and nobody wants to wear tights when it's super hot. So like, I'm just going on my leg, my dry leg. Where it's bad. I'm wearing tights and a skirt. Not tights, socks and a skirt, because I was wearing leggings, which is why I've got this line down my leg, and I took it off because I was going to make this video. So this is product close. We'll see if it transfers. We've got like really light carpet, so if it goes onto the carpet, that'll be like literally the end of the world. We'll see if it transfers, because that is the main thing that people want to know when buying this product, from comments I've seen and things like that. So yeah, this is Huda Beauty's Not Your Mama's Pantyhose. So one of the reasons why I wanted to test this product in this week's story time is not only just to see if it transfers, but this week's story time is going to be about traveling, because I am going to be traveling at the time this video is live, and I have loads of packing to do and stuff. I'm actually going to like open some products at the end of this video for my trip and to get you guys' opinion. I'm not going to try them on because I'm just not that girl, but so yeah. I wanted to start off by telling you this week's story time is about one of the reasons why I'm in no rush to go to New York. Not to be like there's anything wrong with New York, but I just didn't have the greatest time when I went, and I feel like for the amount it costs, or I can think of other places I would like to go. I haven't been to a lot of the other states in America. On my list, I really want to go to, I feel like I'm going to say like the wrong places. I want to go to Miami, I want to go to California, and I want to go, I think it's called San Jose. I'm not sure if Puerto Rico, I know it's in the United States of America, but I'm not sure how you would define that, but that is like probably #1 of my list of places that I want to go. But I just think it's just so expensive. So coming from England, it's like, because you can't get a direct flight, I've looked into it. You have to either fly to Spain and then change, or fly to Miami and then change. And then I couldn't really find any all-inclusive hotels over there either. So it was like bed and breakfast for like over £3,000. The beaches and everything just looks so lush, like. So that's like super high on my list of places in terms when it comes to America. Those are places that I want to go. But in regards to New York, the last time I went to New York was when I was studying my A-levels, and we did a college business trip to New York. And it's funny because I look back on that trip and I honestly cannot tell you anything that I learned that was business related. I feel like the teachers organised this trip just because they wanted to get away. It was like people that were studying A-level leisure and tourism joined with people that were studying A-level business. So probably about 25 of us that went, and I was sharing a room with 3 other girls who were doing leisure and tourism. None of the girls from my business class went because they were just like, it's too expensive. I think it was like, I want to say it was like £600, and it wasn't including food and drink, it was just flight and the hotel stay. So every day we were there, we had to eat out for breakfast, lunch and dinner. The first day we got there, we checked into this hotel, I can't remember the name of it, it's like right in Times Square, and that hotel has a reputation of like it being haunted. And that's not why I want to return back. It was actually, nothing haunting happened. It was a really big hotel. It wasn't like the poshest hotel, but it had a nice reception downstairs, but the rooms itself are very basic. And obviously because it was just like a place, room only, there wasn't like any grand restaurant or anything to be looking at. So basically every day we were there, I would have Starbucks for breakfast. And people at Starbucks were lovely. On my last day I was there, I actually tipped the guy in Starbucks because I had like loads of dollars left over and I didn't want to come back to England and change them, because the currency rate, I always just find them not to be very good when you're swapping money back. I feel like you always lose money. I'm so upset because the other day I went to Italy. I don't want to be distracted, I'm just going to tell you this side story. The other day I went to Italy for a press trip of work, and basically it was like the most lovely hotel. Just everything was so smooth, it was so perfect. They flew us to Verona, it took like about 2 hours, it was really good, really quick. Then we got there, they were waiting there with like our names on these placards. They had the coach waiting that drove us from Milano to Verona, and Verona is just such a beautiful place. I've been to Italy before, but only to Milan, and I do like Milan. I know a lot of people don't like it. I like it, I prefer it to London. But Verona was literally beautiful, like I could live there, it's breathtaking. And the hotel we stayed in was so lovely, so lush, and I think that hotel, they probably do proper food, but then the stay we only had breakfast, because people obviously who had sponsored us for the trip, they obviously specialise in food, so they were like, okay, we're giving you lunch, we're giving you dinner. So every day was heaven for me because I love Italian food. Italian food, Greek and Mediterranean are like my favourite, I can't pick. Also I love Arab food. Yeah, like the food was amazing, the hotel and everything was amazing. I'll put in some pictures so that you guys can see. It was just so lovely. I would love to go back. So yeah, back to New York. So every day we were there for about just under a week, which is obviously not a long time, but because it was a college trip, obviously they couldn't take us out of college and justify us going for like a really, really long time. But basically what would happen is, so easily distracted, what would happen is we would wake up in the morning and we would be able to have breakfast and things, and then we had to meet in the lobby at like 11 AM. And I'm telling you, this story was like, I was 17 at that time, so it was about, I'm not very good at maths, but I want to say it was about 7 years ago that I last went to America, to New York. And because it was almost 7 years ago, obviously a lot could have changed, but like I said, a lot of places that I would rather spend my money to go to than there. I'll just tell you my top three reasons. So number one day our teachers thought it was a good idea to put this girl who had like mental problems with me and my friends that I was with, because she like did have friends, but they obviously were like looking after her for much of the trip, and they basically didn't want to. When I say mental problems, I don't mean like, I don't know how to explain it, the word to you. She had anger issues, and so she was like really adamant that she wanted to go to the Apple store. I don't know why. And there was like a parade going on, and so they wouldn't let us get to like where the Apple store was. She was like going crazy, like, Apple store, I must get to the Apple store. And obviously people are overhearing, so then they were like to her like, oh, you know, you can get this tube, and if you get this tube then it will take you like right outside the Apple store or wherever it was that was closer without going through the parade. So we go like down to the underground bit, and she's like fuming because she realizes actually there is no way to get to the Apple store, and she's gonna have to go another day after we'd like spoken to various people who were like, try this route, try that route. And so this girl starts like kicking and banging on stuff in the station, pushing things over, banging the walls, screaming, I just want to get to the Apple store. And like obviously like we're all like freaking out, like obviously we're in New York, they just call the teachers. It's stressful. And then basically like in New York they had like these police officers in the train station, and they were like holding like big guns, and they were like, if she doesn't calm down, you and you're all gonna get arrested. Sorry, but we're 17, we're from England, we don't have any experience with the law. None of us have ever been arrested for nothing, not even stopped by like the shopping centre security guard or nothing. And you're telling us we're gonna get arrested because of this one girl. And she like pretty much had like no concept of what was wrong, because she probably gets into trouble a lot anyway. So she was just like really upset and like on the verge of tears, and luckily the train came, so we were able to go and figure out another way to go to wherever it is we were going next. So that was the first thing. I felt like that's a bit extreme. Like, why are we all gonna get punished because of this one girl? Like one person, and we all have to take the blame for it. Like, and I'm sorry, but if you're gonna call from America to come on back in England to be like, oh, your daughter's on a college trip and she's been arrested because the other girl who was with her, even though it wasn't by choice, is having a tantrum, that is insane. Like, who needs that kind of drama like going around in fear? So then number two, the second reason why I'm in no rush to go back to New York is because this guy was trying to sell his CDs, his music, mixtape, whatever. And he was so aggressive. And it's crazy to me because I remember like around this time, and slightly before that time as well, like selling CDs and DVDs was such big business. Like you would come to London and people would be like, DVD, do you want to buy a DVD? Then you would go like abroad and people would be like, do you want to buy a mixtape? Do you want to listen to my mixtape? Even in Europe. And so this guy was like trying to sell his CD to us. And obviously I think there are still some people who try to sell like USBs of their music around London stations. But yeah, he basically was like trying to sell his CD, and he was like, you can listen to it in his headphones before you buy the CD. But obviously if you're buying a CD from someone on the street, you don't know if the CD is going to be black when you get home, you don't know nothing. You're just assuming that this person's telling the truth, that this is music and that it's going to work. And so basically I was like, oh, how much do you want for it? And he was like, oh, as much as you wanted to give. And I think I must have said something like, oh, I'll give you $1 or $2 for it. This guy flips, like literally switches. He was like, get the F out of my face or I'm gonna hit you, get the F out of my face. Proper like offended. I'm like, if you're gonna say no, at least be like, okay, this is how much it is, anything from $7 up or whatever. Like, state your price. Don't be like, oh, it's how much you want to give, and then when I tell you how much I wanted to give, you're going to cuss me out and threaten me. And so, because obviously we were in college, it was like a mixed group of us, so this boy was like, you can't talk to her like that, you can't talk to a woman like that. He was like, you get out of my face as well, I'm gonna hit you too, get the F out of my face, I'm gonna hit you. And so we're all like, this is crazy, who is this guy? Like, and obviously in America they carry guns, you don't know who's gonna have a gun because we don't carry guns out here, so it's scary. Like, in the end, like, the guy who was there, he was just like, you know, let's like walk away, let's just like leave it, because obviously I'm not an argumentative or confrontational person, so I was just like, okay, whatever, we'll leave it. And the guy was like still like fuming to himself after we moved on. So that was like the second point, like I can't just be getting threatened in the middle of the street. You know, I guess it could happen anywhere, it could happen in London, but for me that was a significant thing and a reason why I'm rushed to go back to America. Number 3 was me and my friends went to the Hard Rock Cafe. And so the Hard Rock Cafe is a restaurant which I think they also have one in London as well, but I have not been to the London version. And basically they also perform for you. They also perform like music and dancing and stuff. I was like not really wanting to go to the Hard Rock Cafe because I knew that it wasn't my kind of thing. Like, I love theatre, I love food, but I couldn't multitask to do the 2 at the same time. And so basically like everybody that was on the trip ended up going to this restaurant as well. And so one thing I found when I was in America, in Times Square especially, it probably has changed now, but at that time there wasn't really much pescatarian food that I could eat. Like I remember we went to TGI Friday, I had to have just mozzarella dippers because I didn't have anything that I could eat on the menu. And it was like this big, like 3 blocks of cheese. I think the one in England you can get like salmon and stuff like that, but at that time in New York they didn't have anything for me. And so we were at Hard Rock Cafe, and basically it was like a long table with everyone from the trip sitting all together. And so like my food and my friend was sitting opposite me. She was Muslim, so she also had dietary requirements. So our food came last on the table. Food comes, it was cold and my order was wrong. So I was like to the woman, excuse me, you know, my food is cold, it's missing this, that, X, Y, Z. She's like, oh, okay, I'll go change it. Comes back, brings the food. By this time, like people at the top end of the table had finished eating because they had their food. 1, they had it first, and 2, they had it accurately. So obviously it comes, eat food, whatever. Then it's time to pay, and basically me and my friend, we paid, but we didn't want to pay the tip because the food was cold, it was wrong, and we got given our food last basically. And I think there was like another person serving as well, so like there was no reason really, it wasn't like it was just her serving 25 people. And so she went off. Like I was like under the impression that everybody here has anger issues. She was like, oh, don't you like what I did for you? With that attitude, you're not gonna survive here. Bear in mind, we gave her no attitude, just, oh yeah, we're not gonna pay the tip. She was like, don't you like what I did? Da, 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 like proper going in. And my friend was like scared, like on the verge of tears. So my friend tipped her. And then the woman like started dancing and being like, oh, thank you so much, bless your heart, after she basically threatened her to tip. And so at this point I was like, this is ridiculous. So I went to go in the bathroom, and then like my other friends who were at the table but not in that situation, they were like, oh, what happened? And I was like, basically our waitress just threatened me and my friend that we're not going to survive here if we don't tip her, even though there was issues with our order. And so then they went and told the college teachers, and the college teachers were like, oh, you should have told us because then we wouldn't have tipped, we would have complained to the manager, that is just out of order, that is just too much, it's disrespectful, da da da. And I was just like, it's fine at this point. My friend honestly still looked like she was on the verge of tears even though we were past that situation. And it just made me feel really uncomfortable, to be honest, and that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to go back to New York in a rush, because I've been to other countries where you have to tip. It's a very strong culture in a lot of other countries in Europe and in the Caribbean, and I've never really, and obviously even in some shops in London, I've only had one bad experience with somebody like that in London. Like, it was beyond, it was just crazy to me. I feel like there was more bad than there was good. There was more people who were just angry and aggressive than people that were really nice and really lovely, to be honest with you. And aside from that, I also remember going to Liberty Island to visit the Statue of Liberty, and like the underwire on my bra set the security alarm off, and they were just like so aggressive in their search, so rude. And even when obviously they were like realised what it was, they didn't even apologise. They was like, hey. And I just feel like it's aggressive. Like, it's not my fault that the underwire is setting the alarm off, and it's not your fault either. But you've got to have good customer service. think what else? I feel like there was more to the story. In terms of good stuff, like I said, there was people at Starbucks who were lovely. One other really nice experience that stands out for me is I went to Foot Locker and the guy who served me couldn't speak, like literally he couldn't speak. And he basically served me and got me some Converses, and I basically gave the money and the shoes to my friend to go pay because it was like a long queue and I wanted to go somewhere else. And when I got the boxes back to the hotel and opened it, he had written on the inside of my box, "You are so beautiful." And obviously because he couldn't speak, he couldn't say it to me, so he wrote it on the inside of the box, and I couldn't go and say thank you. It's a really nice gesture because I had already left to the Foot Locker and gone back to the hotel. But that's something that I always remember because it was just like, I always have weird experiences like that where it's like you'll be feeling really down and just feeling like the ugliest person in the world, and everybody gets those days where you question like your appearance, or and like, what if I was a bit slimmer, what if I was a little bit, you know, less going on up here or whatever. And so that gesture was really heartwarming, brings tears to my eyes, and it's something that I always remember because it was such a sweet thing to do. Like he really didn't have to do that because he could have thought it and be like, I can't say it, so I'm just gonna leave it, but he wrote it on the inside of my shoebox. I feel like on a whole I had more bad experiences in New York than good, and I feel like there's more that I can't remember off the top of my head. The world is such a big place that when you do go somewhere and you have more bad experiences than good, it doesn't make you want to go back. Another place I went to which I didn't have a good experience was Barcelona, and I will tell you about that in another video maybe. Having said that, I would go back, I would give it another go. So I'm going to be away, as I said, when this video goes live, and I'm traveling to a tropical country, and I've ordered just a few things off the internet for my trip because a lot of things that I wore to Mexico, I'm just going to bring back. I went to Mexico in October last year, so actually September. I love Mexico. Like, I want to live there. I want to be Mexican. Please adopt me, Mexico. It is a lovely, lovely country. Like, there's no way of summing it up. Me and my friend went all-inclusive with TUI, and it was about just under £800, I think, and that was including obviously your flight, your food and drink, and we stayed at the Royal Cameron in Puerto Vallarta. I would really recommend it. It's not like the most poshest hotel, but like the service is really good. The people there are really lovely. We went during Mexican Independence Day, so there was a lot of like original authentic culture, which is really nice. And also we have friends with like the person who like does taxis on the side. His name is Victorino, so if you do go to that hotel, go and ask for him outside. He was really sweet and like took us to places that weren't touristy, which was really nice because you got to have real quesadillas and really meet real culture, real people, see the real beaches that they go to. I met so many people who were just lovely, and like a lot of people there, they were like they had never left that country because obviously there they just don't earn as much money. It's very different, like the way of life is very carefree. The only things I would say to flag is, one, it's a country that has a lot of stray dogs. There's dogs like everywhere, so if you're scared of dogs, which I am probably about, if 5 is like the most fearful, I'm probably about 3.5. So that was something I didn't know before I went, and it caught me off guard, but the dogs were all very tame, like they weren't following you, they weren't aggressive. So I have lipstick on my teeth. The second thing to flag is that there is not many people of colour. And I say that because I don't know if that's the same all over Mexico, but in Puerto Vallarta itself, which is the tourist area, there isn't very many people of colour. The whole time we were there, I think we saw like 4 black people, and they were American people, and we saw one, I think, black woman who lived in Mexico in the shopping centre. Also, their supermarkets are amazing. There wasn't many black people, and my friend who I went with was dark skinned, and she would get stopped and people would be like, can I take a picture of you? Someone asked me once and I was just like, no. But it didn't happen that much. People would just be like, oh my gosh, your skin is so beautiful. Like, they really like people of other cultures. And one thing as well, they were like, can't really understand what you're saying. I understand your accent because, one, obviously we're speaking English, but 2, they're used to people speaking American English. There's not as many British people there. Especially for us, they were like, oh, I've never met anyone black that's not American, so that was interesting. But it was so lovely. Like, you guys, go to Mexico and take me with you. Anyway, before it gets completely dark and rains and ruins my natural lighting, because I am not buying a ring light, let's open some stuff. So anyone who knows me will know that 98% of the things in my wardrobe are from Rhode Island, and then everything else is either H&M or Hollister. Maybe an odd chocker shoes, maybe the odd shoe from Shoe or Office. But clothes wise, pretty much everything I own is Rhode Island is my favourite shop. And so I bought some slides, and basically they came, and I bought them like a size bigger than my size, so I know my feet are going to swell when I go to a hot country. And they were still really uncomfortable, so I've had to order them in like another big size. So these are going to look huge. I'm like a size 6, and I think these are like okay. I'll cry if they don't fit because I really like them. They look huge right now. These are plain white slides. They also come in like a neon mustardy yellow colour, and they also come in pink. I'm not going to try them on because I don't want to get that leg ties thing on my white slides if it does transfer, but they are £25 and they are just so nice. They're like really strong material, like you guys can see it's really thick compared to like slides that you would get from other high street shops. They're just like really good, really strong material. I feel like they will last for years to come. I'm really praying that these will fit. I love Rhode Island, it's like literally my favourite shop. Anyways, on another note, I have never ever bought anything from Boohoo before and it's arrived. The last time I bought something from Boohoo was when I was at uni in my undergraduate. I was like 17 or 18 when I last bought anything from Boohoo downtown, and it never arrived, and I was just annoyed. Like the whole process was annoying, and I even had a bit of an annoying process getting this. I've now moved city. I'm no longer in Oxford. I've moved city and I'm still having problems. Basically, they were like, it's gonna come between 1 and 3, and that was perfect, so I wasn't starting work till 5, so I was here the whole time. I literally looked at my phone and was like, it's 2:48, where is this thing? Not there. I was like, okay, whatever. 2:51, I get an email being like, oh, your driver tried to deliver this thing and you're not there, so I'm gonna have to do it the next working day. I was like, I've literally been in the house the whole time with my door open, waiting to hear, not listening to music because I wanted to hear the door, and it never arrived. And basically it was just stressful. I got to work and then I got an email being like, oh, your order's been delivered. How? When you said it was coming the next day. So it did arrive, and my sister signed for it. So it's a swimming costume, and basically because I am top heavy, I was like, I don't know what my size is because I never bought from this shop before. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for the biggest size. I think the biggest size was like a size 26, 28, and I was like, okay, I'm not size 26, 28, so that's not very wise. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for the biggest high street size. What is this? Very excited for this. Is there even a return thing in here? I swear I didn't even have a return thing. So it was like forcing me to keep it. I'm confused. C'est la vie. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like it's way too big, but I will try it on later on. And also I didn't expect the mesh sponge to be so see-through. On the one it didn't look like that. It doesn't really look very, it looks quite big. And it smells really strong, like it needs washing if I'm going to wear it. It's Antoinette, which is one of my favourite clothes design. I mean, the quality and stuff, it actually looks okay. I read so many things where it's like Boohoo's quality or Pretty Little Things quality, but I'm looking forward to that. Obviously I'm not going to wear the slides with that because it doesn't match. I managed to get some black flip-flops from H&M for $3.99, so I would recommend that. Anyways, that's all for this week. Let's see what's going on with my legs. Oh, as you guys can see, I was sitting cross-legged and it transferred a little bit onto my other leg, which didn't have any on. It's still on. Like, my hand hasn't got anything less to rub it and see. It came off onto my hand a little bit. Yeah. But it also feels like it's drying, so I don't think it's completely dried. And I've been here talking to you guys for at least half an hour. It doesn't appear to be any on the rug or any on my sock. I think it does transfer, but it doesn't transfer a lot. Like, as long as you leave it to dry, it should be fine. I've got the brush, so I could probably brush it down again. You know, it'll probably be fine. It's not really transferred just now. So overall, I'm happy. I would use it. I would be very careful though not to use it if I know I'm going to be sitting down a lot, but if I know I'm going to like the fun fair and I'm going to wear like skirt or shorts, or I'm going to maybe the beach even. I don't know if it's waterproof, sorry. If it's waterproof, I would definitely wear it to the beach. I don't think it has UV protection though, so I wouldn't want to wear it without sunscreen, or I wouldn't wear it in a very, very hot country, but in England it should be fine. It's £40 like I said, and I think it's a great product if you want shimmering legs that look flawless and even skin tone. But anyways, as you know, I try to post videos every other week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you again soon.